I had a bit of an issue with something that the main character in Guild Receptionist did last week, and I have to rant about how she somehow made it even more idiotic. Now, to be fair, I think Guild Receptionist is probably in the top 3 best new shows of the season, and I truly think we are witnessing Best Girl in action. She is a fantastic character. She's a bundle of chaos, and rip to any man who marries her because she's gonna be abusive as hell. But the idea that her amazing disguise in episode 1 was a hood. Like, that was her, like, hey, I need to keep a low profile, so I'm gonna wear a hood. A hood is easily gonna fall off your head to begin with, but if we just apply anime logic that somehow it stayed on her face, the idea that that was her amazing cover-up is insane. And I had some people last week unironically defend the fact that, well, she's in a dark cave, a hood's gonna be enough. No, it wouldn't. It's a very bad disguise. If you care about your identity, you would wear a mask. Whatever, it's not a big deal, it's just a funny, idiotic thing. Turns out, the Guildmaster has an ability to rewind time. And the reason why this is kind of bad is that he gets to play... There's video games with systems where you can rewind and play shit, and you walk around to get faces and you piece it together. And this girl deadass said, hey, my house just got destroyed. This is more tragic than Eren Yeager losing his mom in the first episode of Attack on Titan. And I'm gonna wear the same day. You've already been exposed in the paper. Take 2 seconds to put a scarf around your face. Anything. And to play devil's advocate, potentially she's just a little too hot and bothered. She's a little stressed out because of, everything going on. Maybe. But within 2 episodes, she had, like, the wiggle room after the first episode, and she completely blew it in the second. Now, granted, I'm glad she did, because now we're gonna actually progress the plot, rather than trying to keep a secret that is the worst secret known to man. Very clearly, the main guild group that she'll be working with and the guild master are gonna know about it. But this girl, despite being best girl, might have had the most idiotic blunder we might see this season. That's just fantastic. I love it, but god damn it, man, how did she manage? Want to support my work and see my full thoughts on these wonderful episodes? Of course, I have a Patreon where we got those full live reactions if you're so interested. So, episode 2, I think I liked even more than the first, and if you watched my video last week, you knew I very much enjoyed episode 1. There's something just... her energy and her charisma, despite being a bundle of goddamn negativity for the most part, she just oozes charisma. And I really have to question, at what point would she realize that the job she picked isn't actually great? I get on paper, a lifetime job, simple paperwork, 9 to 5, clock out, go home, be about your day. But all we learned over 2 episodes is this job sucks. Initially, I was going to question why the other guild receptionists are never working overtime. Like, are they just pushing all their work onto her? No, like, they're probably just doing the thing that she doesn't want to do. If I leave it for tomorrow's me, then current lazy me will just end up causing even more work tomorrow. And it's like, on paper, that sounds right. But if every day you're doing overtime, what is the point? Like... seemingly the others are doing just fine by pushing their work to the next day. Like, at a certain point, you have to realize, if you're never catching up to work, despite putting in the effort, this job isn't actually as good as you think. And apparently we live in a world, because when she saw her house get destroyed, there was no immediate, I need to contact the insurance company. I don't think there's insurance companies. There's apparently mortgages in this world, but I don't think there's insurance companies, because her face made it seem like she has 30 years left on this mortgage for a house she can no longer use. Like, what is going on in this world? I have many of questions. But at a certain point, you would have to realize that maybe this job isn't actually as good. Like, I think in her head, she still thinks this is the dream job, but in execution, this has been anything other than that. And we do get, like, a bit of explanations on why a guild receptionist is summoning the mighty hammer of death. So, it's actually heartbreaking, I ain't gonna lie. There are moments where you genuinely feel bad despite the comedy and outlandish nature of the show. So she's, like, desperately trying to go, like, this market, this, like, little event. She does it best, and, like, as soon as she gets there, it's shutting down. And she's just, like, praying. She's like, Lords, for the love of God, give me the ability, like, let me enjoy my life. Like, what can I do to be able to not have to work so much overtime? And that seemingly is how she got blessed with her hammer. So seemingly the gods in this world are saying, hey girl, you should just, like, not be a receptionist. Maybe you should just, like, go kill monsters. And in this episode, they actually drop a long-term plot point, which obviously is not going to happen over the course of one season, but more so maybe the entirety of the story's run, which is the quest to defeat all floor bosses, come to the clock tower, and then whatever's going to unlock is going to unlock. For her sake, I hope it's enough money to retire, because that's essentially, see, for a girl who just wants to go home and be a lazy slob, she needs enough funds to support the lifestyle, right? So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it'll be the One Piece, whatever person finds the One Piece, it'll be whatever they need. I don't know. But either way, they set up a lot in this episode, despite also just being insanely fun. I mean, I feel bad for our boy because he legitimately is helping her with paperwork, being a nice guy, and he's just like, he's getting either verbally assaulted or physically assaulted left after right. But this man's like, I see the potential in her being a party member. And honestly, I don't blame the guy, but at the same time, maybe it's at a certain point you got to cut your losses. We end the episode with the Guildmaster wanting to throw hands. Like, brilliant. It's just like, when you look at her mannerisms and her animation, this is what makes her best girl to me. Not because I'm like, oh, like, she's like the best wife. No, like, she is a gremlin. There's no other way to put it. She is a goddamn gremlin. But she is adorable, frightening, chaos, sweet. She's just like, the mannerisms and her character designs just lend for such drastic shifts in anger and happy. It just works so well for pure entertainment value. And when you have a dude who's just like the epitome of scumbag, who just immediately tried to beat up a girl in the middle of a guild receptionist's office, to then summoning a giant golem, which looked really cool, mind you, like the texturing that they did to it, fantastic, only for her to come in and I thought she was going to at least break a knee. I knew she wouldn't flatten him completely, but I was expecting at least a kneecap. A little disappointed that she hit him to the side, but given he probably shit and pissed himself given the very close call, maybe that's all the disrespect we needed. Either way, I think anyone who liked the first episode is going to have a blast with the second. For me personally, I actually enjoyed episode 2 more than the first. There's not necessarily a particular reason. Maybe it's just because, like, I assumed every episode would be the misunderstanding of, like, hey, God damn it, I want to clock out on time. Here's a mission, I gotta go do it. And instead, they went the completely different route, and I've already exposed her secret, because apparently a hood, to no one's surprise, isn't the best identity concealer. It seems like she'll have a dual life, though. Like, she'll still be allowed to be a guild receptionist, but she'll also have to take on missions. Like, I feel like that's gonna be, like, the thing. Either way, like, it's great, and I do like the misunderstanding and the unhinged nature of her coworker being like, God, I wish this guy with the hood would smash me with his hammer. Oh shit, did I say that out loud? I'm like, yep, you did. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think? You liking the show as much as me, or do you got different thoughts? Do let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. As today, we got Big Devow, Adler2704, Shasupassin, Jacob, A. Barrett, Kyle Call. We also have Austin Fernand. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and y'all have a good one.